Well, hello, ladies, gentlemen, and whoever or whatever you identify as. Welcome back to the Shed of Dread. Welcome to another video. Welcome to episode 5 of Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Spock Amok. Indeed. Right then, before we go any further with this particular episode, I have a major issue with it, but we'll cover that when we get there. But this is one that's really not a good one, but in any case. So, up until now, really enjoying it. And off we go. And what we get now is we're now back at Space Dock following one of the repairs that were needed from the last episode. If you haven't watched the last episode review, why not? But if you're carrying on, ship's been damaged, needs repairs. Obviously, because at the end of episode 4, it was not in a good shape. So while we're doing that, a lot of people are going on shore leave and doing those things and maintenance and this, that and the other. And meanwhile, there's also a negotiation of a potential member of Federation, which we'll cover in a bit. So basically what we get is the Doctor's going off with Nurse Chapel and Ortegas. They're going on shore leave. He comes with the hat on. What are you doing? Well, the biodome's got a fishing lake and I want to go fly fishing, which is absolutely great. And Nurse Chapel's going to go and meet some bloke she's been having fun with. Nothing serious, of course. And basically you start to get this one that we're beginning to have a little bit, this one's a little bit more light-hearted, a little bit more enjoyable, that sort of way. So it'll be interesting to do it. And while they're all going on shore leave, Leanne and Una stay at home. And as the Doctor gets on the transporter, he goes, well, yeah, clearly the nickname sticks. And what nickname? Oh, no, I must be, no, what nickname? And Ortega goes, where fun goes to die. And then they beam off. Now, that's because Leanne and Una don't do shore leave. They won't leave. They stay at home. They stay at the ship. They enjoy being on the ship and doing mundane stuff. So, obviously, they're not the fun side of the Enterprise, which is quite interesting. And it's quite sort of reflective of different people's sort of the way other people do other things. So, what we got here, let's just close that because I've got a thing that pops up. While this is all going on, there's obviously a new there's a new race. What their names called? Okay, we'll cover it in a minute. I'll remind you in a minute. There's a negotiations going on, and Spock's involved with that, so he's not leaving. So T'Pring, I hope I said that right, is his fiancée. Now some people go, Spock didn't get married. Well, no, Spock didn't get married, but he did in the original series have a fiancée called T'Pring. So it's tied into that. And right at the beginning of the episode, we have a dream sequence where Spock is going to get married to T'Pring, but he's got normal ears and he has to fight, his human side has to fight the Vulcan side because of that internal clash, and he feels that T'Pring won't love him because he's half human. So we've got this going on as well. But this negotiation is going. So T'Pring comes to see him. And so we've got this, them with their relationship. She's supposed to be doing a job chasing some fugitive Vulcan, but she's got her friend, her assistant to do it. And Spock's saying, yeah, I know, I will spend some time, but I need to get these negotiations done. But I'll make sure that I'm back for dinner the night before. So we now go to, We're on the Starbase 1, and Admiral April is. There's a picture of alien race known as the Rungovians. There's a picture of them up there. Nice. And the problem is where they are in Rungovian space. They're right in a very important place in the galaxy. They're right on the border of Federation, Klingon, and Romulan. So they need that. They need them there. And of course, obviously, the Romulans and the Klingons want them to be part. Because so basically, what you've got is a very tactically important piece of space, and everybody wants a piece of it. Now the Rongovians will speak to Pike. No idea why, but they arrive unannounced early and want to start negotiations straight away. Now they have a very unique way of negotiating, which is they want to put themselves in a place so people can see things from their perspective rather than just saying we want this. They want to be acknowledged. And throughout this, you can see how this works, that they want to be acknowledged. And they adapt their negotiations to suit that. They're basically saying what they want to do is they want to show that They want to see that the people that they're talking to are prepared to see things from a different perspective, which is a great way, which is a shame how we should all actually live our lives, to be fair. So we've now got this negotiation going on. We also have Una and Liana, they're busy doing something. There's an unauthorised use of an airlock. They get there, there's two cadets. They get these two cadets out and interrogate them why they're going out, and they go, it's Enterprise Bingo, which of course these two know nothing about. And Enterprise Bingo is a load of things that you need to do. So to say that they're not where fun goes to die, they start doing the challenges that are on the Enterprise Bingo, which are some very funny, interesting things. But it's good fun. Now, what else happened is Spock, because he suddenly gets surprised by the meeting, is late for dinner, and him and T'Pring fall out. He has a chapel, meanwhile, he's having a chat with the bloke who wants to get serious. She doesn't want to. She sees Spock, goes over, and they have a chat, and she says, well, perhaps you want to take it from her point of view. And in the original series, the friendship between Nurse Chapel and Spock are well known, and in fact, in the original series, Nurse Chapel holds a big torch for Spock. So that's nothing new. So Spock takes this on board and does what Spock does best, which is take it literally and perform a mind swap, which apparently is something that Vulcans can do. And it's where you share each other's minds, but during this, it goes wrong. Although Spock is in T'Pring's body and T'Pring is in Spock's body. Very much a swap thing that's been done on multiple films. And of course, this now causes a problem because Spock needs to go in to do the negotiations, even though it's T'Pring, and T'Pring, who's now Spock, needs to go and do what T'Pring was going to do. But the thing is, they explain it to Pike, and he goes, "You got to be shitting me." Well, what? So, in any case, they now have the ability to see how each other perform in each other's roles, which is unique. It's funny, it's interesting. I thought it was quite good while they're figuring out how to get it done. T'Pring, who is Spock, is in the negotiations because they now only want to speak to Spock because of his logic, and they're very logical. T'Pring starts getting confused. Captain steps in and says how wonderful Spock is, which obviously gives T'Pring an insight. Meanwhile, T'Pring's assistant can't get this Vulcan, so he goes over. We have a little interchange, and Spock punches T'Pring because this Vulcan's an arsehole, basically. So we've got that going on. So we've got the Enterprise Bingo, which I think is quite funny. The mind swap for the Vulcans, which was okay, yeah, it was entertaining. The negotiations, which were going, you really can't tell until it comes to the final negotiation, where Pike sits down. Whilst in the sick bay, Spock and T'Pring have these wonderful paste and these things that re-swap them back, so that makes that all fine and dandy. Pike, they ask why should we join the Federation, and he goes, well, you shouldn't. And he gives out this brilliant speech about the cost of taking it on and this, that and the other. And they walk out and say, thank you, Captain. And Robert April's go, well, what are you there for? He said, well, I'm just playing on a hunch that that's what they want. They want to see somebody who sees it from their perspective. And they came in a ceremonial solar sail ship, which is one of the biggest sails. It's done in Star Wars as well. Big sails come up. And when they open the sails, the Federation flag is flying, which means they've joined the Federation. So that's all gone well. Meanwhile, Lian and Number One are around the final bit, which is they've got a force field around them, and they're on the outer hull. And there's what they call the Scorch, signing the Scorch, which apparently is the oldest plate, deck plate or hull plate on the Enterprise that hasn't been changed, and you sign your name on there. So they sign the name on there, and the big sail ship comes over, which is like a fantastic shot. So enjoyable, fun. They do the comedy really, really well. And then we come to the bit that's the fucking problem, unfortunately, which is, as I says, I just can't. No, and it annoys me because up until now they've had little bits, but this is it. T'Pring and Spock go back to the quarters. They have a social chit chat about, I feel this, I feel that, and they kiss and they make love. Except, of course, Vulcans don't do that. They do it once every 7 years. You know, that Pomfar. They only mate once every 7 years, but apparently we've took that bit of canon, screwed it up and thrown it in the bin. For what? Everybody knows this. Anyone who's ever watched Star Trek knows that Vulcans can only mate once every 7 years. This wasn't Pomfar. That wasn't right. You see, the thing is, I'm not going to say I'm enjoying it. I loved it. I thought this particular episode was really good, right up to that bit. You can't change something that is so canonically, everybody knows. Once every 7 years, a Vulcan can make love. They can only mate once every 7 years. Not have a kiss and jump into bed when they feel like it, and that breaks canon. A big break in canon, in my opinion. And I know it will be in other people's opinion. Will it stop me watching it? No, not really. Because I am enjoying the show. But these things keep niggling at me. It's not as bad as what happened with the Kenobi show, which meant, as you've seen on my video before, why I've stopped watching Obi-Wan Kenobi. I just can't go any further than that because it's just no. And that's because of a whole load of things that were in the background, slowly but steadily building up to that bit, which just destroyed it for me, and I can't do it. This is a big problem because of it being a major canon issue, but there hasn't been enough before for me to go, I'm done, because I'm not. This is the first serious canon breach that I will. I mean, there's little ones, but not. This is really a big one. But if another one happens, I may have a problem. But so I'm gonna. Everything gets one. I'm gonna let it slide. Okay, it's just gone, and we'll just have to wait to see how it goes. But that was a really annoying thing. It sort of took the edge off this episode, which was all about people being people. And sometimes having to understand people from a different perspective instead of just going in with your one set of blinker views, which is what these aliens didn't. They weren't going to go in with this is what we want. They wanted people to have to adapt and change and see things from a different perspective, which is something we could all probably do with better in our own world right now, don't you think? If we just decided to listen to, other perspectives. It's about having radical. I mean, they were said that they're difficult because they'd been talking with the Tellarites and they didn't go on with the Tellarites. And they said when he first met Bug, it's because we are very get the word right. We're very empathic. We have lots of empathy for people, but only if they see it from their point of view. And I thought that was a brilliant way of doing it. The way that Pike basically said, you know what, you don't have to join. Don't. If you genuinely think that the risk is too great, then just don't. I'm not going to force you, which is a brilliant way of doing it. And that's because Pike understood what they wanted and went from there. And that is why, for all intents and purposes, Pike is a brilliant captain. He is absolutely brilliant. He's dynamic. He's somebody who inspires his crew because he can take it from a different point of view. Because he takes on other people's. He listens to people around him and does and takes it like that, like he did in the previous episode where they were working out how to beat the Gorn. He's a very, very good show. 5 episodes in. I said apart from that canonical issue that I've got, still enjoying it. Looking forward to episode 6, which I haven't watched yet. I'm probably going to watch it maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow, I'm not sure. And then obviously I will do my episode 6 review. But so far, I have to say, this is Star Trek. I know a lot of people out there will go, oh no, it's not. It feels like Star Trek. It's enjoyable to watch. They are episodic, but they also link into each other in subtle ways. They're not like a huge, massive story arc going through, but like this episode, they're in the dock because of what happens in the episode before, which makes sense. So it's like that. Very enjoyable. Loving every moment of it. I can't say any higher, but as I said, this one, the Vulcans having sex, it didn't sit right. It really didn't. But as I said, it's now you're on. We can't. You're on a yellow card now. Please don't break anymore. Because I tried with Obi-Wan and I just couldn't do it. I don't want to. I really don't want to not have. I don't want to have to stop watching this because of that. But I will if I have to. So I'll wait and see. But then again, that's what I think. And what do I know? I'm just a fat bloke sitting in the shed surrounded by his toys. You let me know what you think. Comment section down below. No right or wrong comments. As long as we're all acting like adults and we're not stupid, please feel free to put them in. If you enjoyed this video, please thumb it up. And share if you want. Let other people know that I'm doing these videos. If you enjoy what I'm doing with the Star Trek reviews or anything else that I do on my channel, then just hit that subscribe button. That'd be much appreciated. Right next to the bell. Give that a ding. And you should get a notification from YouTube that I've done another video, which would be quite impressive because that chops and changes like nobody's business. So, with that, and as always, until the next one, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to love you and leave you. Thank you so much for watching. As always, 100% so appreciated.